Should you read The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Díaz? Maybe. I didn't hate this book, but I didn't love it either. But my biggest gripe with this book is actually one of the things it gets praised for the most. So let me explain, and maybe you'll like it more than I did. Now, this book was originally published in 2007, and it won the Pulitzer Prize. So it follows a nerdy, obese Dominican kid by the name of Oscar, who is growing up in 1980s New York and dealing with the tumultuous life that comes with that, all kind of underlined by a plague, or essentially a curse, that has been affecting his family for generations. And so the story primarily features Oscar and his coming of age and the challenges that he faces due to his weight and his nerdiness in the 80s. But it is actually a multi-generational family saga, having chapters that cover his mother's experience growing up in the Dominican Republic and then moving to New York, and going back even further and following her father, who was a prominent physician in the 1930s in the Dominican Republic under the Trujillo dictatorship. The plot of this book was quite interesting, and I actually did like the backstories of both the mother and the grandfather. I found those much more interesting than the actual main character himself. The book gives a very graphic and uncensored look into what life was like in the 30s under the Trujillo dictatorship, especially as a woman. I'll be 100% honest, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit at some of the graphic scenes because I initially thought that the author was just going totally far and beyond as far as his imagination could take him in terms of brutality. But no, I was wrong. Things were actually that bad during this brutal dictatorship, and it is really eye-opening to look back on that. Trust me, your jaw will be on the floor at some of these scenes. The biggest gripe for me was actually the prose of this book, which is one of the things it gets praised for primarily. It was kind of written like a squirrel looking for a nut. There are no quotation marks. It is entirely stream of consciousness. It kind of reminds me of Cormac McCarthy's The Road, but if both the man and the boy had severe ADHD. But that is just my opinion. If you don't mind that, or you actually like that style of prose, if you thought that the story sounded pretty interesting, definitely pick this one up. The story is quite good and quite fascinating. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to like and subscribe, but I hope this has helped you answer the question,